When Karina joined my Confident English training program about a year ago, her intention was to apply for a teaching position, being a professor at a university in the US. So she joined the program and we started working together for some time. And then she stopped attending the live aspects of the program. So I didn't know what had happened. And now she is back and she's here to tell us how things changed and the exciting news that she has about what's coming up in her life. So we met recently to talk about all of this and how she feels about being part of the program. And here is our conversation. Let's jump right in. If this is your first visit here, or if you've watched other videos of mine and see value in the content, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you're helping the algorithm and the channel reach more people like you looking to deepen their English language skills and become more confident and fluent. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Tanya Meyer. I'm the founder of Confident English Training, operating at the intersection between efficient language acquisition and use, awareness raising, and increased levels of happiness and well-being. What's not to love? Okay, so a little bit of background information before we jump into the interview. And I can tell you that Karina is Argentinian originally and has been living in Mexico for 22 years. So she considers herself Mexican by adoption. And she's a researcher at the Mexican Institute of Legal Research within the Mexican Autonomous National University, which is actually my own alma mater, where I studied English literature. And Karina is also a part-time professor at Flaxo, which is the Latin American Social Studies faculty. So let's start with Karina sharing with us that she's been invited to go and deliver a course at a prestigious institute in Europe in English to international students on the topic of sociology of law. Tell us a little bit about the course that you'll be delivering. How did it come about? And
Well, I think that definitely I decided to teach the course, and I was because I was really honored with the invitation, but certainly be part of the program was a reinforcement of operated like a way of reinforcement, knowing that I have this space, and so I can have the yes, a moment and a person and a lot of resources to 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 take and take advantage of, and to be better prepared to do that. So the program has a role as a reinforcement, saying that I must do an extra work, not only to prepare the course, but to be able to teach it in English. But I know that I have this possibility or this space, and it was a thing that reassured me that I have a safe space to work on that. And I reviewed the whole curriculum of the program when I first started, I really enjoy the record the videos, and I think that they were really helpful. I really I think that your tips and your experience is great, and the way you share with the community, it's great. It's very clear, and it's absolutely helpful, especially because the community already know English. It's a group of people that have some level uh, of fluency in the language. It's not a beginner group, so I really appreciated these tips or identification of common mistakes, and especially for persons speaking Spanish speaking persons. So it was really helpful, even when I went through 1 year ago. So I think I need to retake that in order to take some rhythm or to acquire some pace to with the practice, beyond the calls on or this this synchronic activities. So I think it's these are my main reflections. It's for me, it's great to have all these resources, and I think the idea is to have the resources and to be able to go back and forth and reinforce every time the things that we need. Now I have a clear goal, so it helps how to focus. It helps to focus. But when I began the program, I was not well, it was the project to apply to this position, but it was not a clear goal.
Jumping in here to ask if you also are looking to be able to express yourself as naturally and confidently as Karina is doing, but in your own context. I'm leaving a link for you to take action and put yourself in contact with me in the description box below. And also I'm leaving a QR code right here if you're ready right now to just book a consultation call and talk about your intentions, your aims, your objectives with English. Okay? And also, why don't you comment below if you are looking for ways of improving your language skills within your own profession? What is your profession, and what do you dream about being able to do in English? Okay, let's get back to the interview. You know, you joined the program over a year ago. We worked together for some time, and then, you know, life happens as it does. We do whatever we do, but now you have a clear goal. And so this possibility of returning to the program, and returning at a time when the curriculum is about to be upgraded. So without that meaning that you have to go out and look for somebody or invest again, or, you know, just simply popping in. What do you think about that?
No, I think this is great. Now, I think that I can understand the value, no, that in at this time I need, I can, yes, contact you and join the community and to have the resources at hand and your advice at hand.
Yeah, well, I'm very glad. And it's difficult to explain that to people who are arriving, this question of lifetime access, think about yourself 1 year from now. Like most people can't think about themselves next week, like, I've got so many things. So thinking about themselves in 1 year or in 2 years and still being part of the program, definitely value is there.
Definitely, and now I can understand, because it's difficult for adults to 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 have regular courses of a language, uh, having full-time jobs and families and other responsibilities. It's really difficult to be able to maintain, the regularity of a course. I remember when I improved a lot my English when I just arrived to Mexico, but I had 3 hours class every day of the, yes, every day for 1 year. So it was great, but I improved. I made a jump, an impressive jump on the language, but it was a exceptional situation. I had a scholarship. I was doing my PhD. I'm studying my PhD, so the institution paid for our course, and we have a professor. So it was really, really exceptional. And I'm grateful, but real life, it's completely different. And now it will be impossible for me to be at, I don't know, at 7 to take a class, and because I need to drop my children and my son at school and then come to office. So it's so I think it's more.
Yes, but I mean, what you're saying about taking 3 hours of English every day, that is what in teaching methodology is called immersion, like language immersion, because it's 3 hours every day. So it's almost as if you move to an English speaking country, for 3 hours every day. That's super intensive. And part of what the curriculum offers or has the intention is to create immersion circumstances, or the conditions for immersion to be more available for people who cannot be in a classroom for 3 hours every day.
I really love your videos and your tips. I really, really love the materials, and I surprised. I was surprised about the relationship you do between learning a language that can be dry and hard, and meditation and mindfulness, and manage anxiety in some way. And I think that it helped me to think on the language in other way. For me, English, it's a necessity, but it's a burden too. And I'm not I think that I'm good in many things, but if foreign languages are not my best strength. So think in this process from the other side, and a holistic side as a part of life, not only that an obligation, and I need to do my exercise, and it was great for me. It was really helpful. Your philosophy, I think you are sharing with us a philosophy about learning and in general, and learning a second language in particular. But
Oh, that's so awesome. I love that. And I'm so excited for you. I mean, I can't even imagine, how I would be feeling if I were offered to go and deliver a talk or a conference. I mean, forget a course, just a talk or something in Portuguese. Which is not my language, and which is a language that I'm improving through my own program for English. But I would just be over the moon. I'd be so excited to travel to Brazil or to Portugal. Well, I mean, if it were Portugal, that would be really that would be a nerve-wracking experience for me, because I do speak Brazilian Portuguese,
yes, it's very
and I know
different.
that
The accent.
they are different. But I would just be so excited. So I can imagine you right now, how you are. I know that this is a very prestigious institute that approached you and asked you to deliver this course, and you've accepted it, and that's coming up in a month. So we'll be working together, and I'm looking forward to being part of this journey with you, Karina.
No, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
you, for your support.
Awesome. Okay, so that was my conversation with Karina. What do you think? Comment below if you relate to Karina's experiences in any way, especially in terms of having no time to take regular English language lessons, especially if you're already an advanced learner. It becomes more difficult to commit to regular lessons. And if you're looking for ways, ideas, inspiration, motivation, an expert, a community, a curriculum, and all kinds of different ways in which you can be supported to continue to develop your language skills, remember that you can also download my free guide, How to Revolutionize Your English, 8 Steps for Success. It's free, and you can find the link in the description box below. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take good care until then. Bye for now.